What's up, y'all? It's your boy Sean P back again with another edition of Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. So today, we're gonna do a reaction video to the brothers from over at Dead End Hip Hop. Shout out to Dead End Hip Hop, by the way, is one of the best. I say the best and the most objective and organized hip hop review platform on the web right now. I mean, of course, there's myself, but I'm still up and coming. But I think Dead End Hip Hop does an excellent job of having a well-rounded discussion about hip hop reviews. But anyway, they did a topic about the state of hip hop right now, the current state of hip hop, and they basically asked, "Is hip hop in a bad place?" And I have a lot to say on this. I really do. I think that hip hop is in a bad place. And I think there's a lot that they say in a short, about 6 to 7 minute segment that we're going to play through. I want to play all the way through this. And then I'm going to comment on some key points that they made, because there's some key points that they made about streaming, about streaming and sales, about who are the stars in this game, and the viral TikTok culture in hip hop as its real effect. And I think all are really having an effect bringing the game down from not only from a quality perspective, but a listener perspective in hip hop. So I'm going to set up the video. We're going to go ahead and play that right now. And then we're going to walk through it. We're going to react to what they said. And I have a lot to expand on those points that they made on the broadcast. So let me go ahead and share this up for you. Hold on a minute. Let me go full screen. And let's go.
Only sold 8,000 copies first week. Does hip hop have a problem, y'all?
Yeah, because wait a minute. So nothing has been cracking top 25 Billboard stuff.
I want to say he was number 100 and something.
That's what I'm saying. I think that. I think Not Like Us and I think Like That are the only songs that were cracking top 20, top like hip hop songs. I'm sorry, hip hop songs that were cracking top 20s, top 25s. I don't think any other hip hop songs was cracking Billboard lists like that when it can, as far as sales and all that stuff. Yeah. Am I right?
We're gonna talk. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. We're gonna talk about Not Like Us a little bit more in depth later on. So I'm glad that you brought that up. But yeah, the hip hop is in a bad place right now because, and here's the thing, not just looking at only first week album sales, just let's look at album sales in general. Mm-hmm. It's not good. Let's look at streaming numbers in general. It's not good. And it seems like it doesn't matter if it's a major artist, up and coming artist, or an industry plant. The numbers ain't there.
Well, I think that there are no stars. I think that trendy artists struggling to stay on trend. Mm-hmm. And of course, singles. I mean, not singles, and of course, streaming is definitely killing a lot of these sales as well, because where am I going to go to really buy an album? Now, I know record shops and all that stuff exist, but if I'm a regular consumer, I could just pull out Spotify or Apple Music and hit stream. And we've had the conversation, when you start trying to count streams as part of album sales, it gets a little funky. And, sometimes it's not going to all add up. And that's what we're having. So what was interesting, though, and when I saw this, FIFO, is first thing that went through my head is YG just fell off. And
there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that.
Yeah. This tweet, Savage Takes, has YG's first week career sales. Starting in 2020, he did, well, not starting in 20. Yeah. So 2020, he did 64,000 with My Life 400. My Crazy Life did 61,000. That was in 2014. Stay Dangerous 2018 was 56,000. In 2016, 38,000. For Real, 37,000 in 2019. And in 2022, 14,000. And of course, this year, 8,000. But my thing is, the last one that I really, really remember was probably For Real. No, Still Brazy.
Hey, Dan. Oh, Still Brazy. Okay.
Yeah, Still Brazy was. I think that was the last one to truly like move.
I don't know what's going on. Is marketing bad, or are they not getting coverage? I think hip hop media is in a weird place as well. So,
you know what?
This space
when I look
weird.
at this, I feel like everything you said is 100% true. Like YG has taken a fall off. I think the other thing also is this lends to the conversation we were having a couple of weeks, if not months ago, where independency is where it needs to be. Mainly because I believe that YG is still signed to a major. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Not 100% sure, but I believe he is still signed to a major. Selling 8,000 on a major is trash. You sell 8,000 independently. That we're talking that in terms of money, that's different type of money. You know what I'm saying? Versus having to pay the label, paying all this and paying all that and this, that, and the third. So again, if you're gonna do 8,000 and sign to a major, what the hell is you doing? Because somebody at YG's status level, like just his name alone, if it's gonna do 8,000, you might as well do that independently.
There's a rapper. I'm on Hits Daily Double, and they're top 50. Have you guys heard of No Cap?
Yes. I haven't heard his music.
I haven't heard the music, but I heard the name.
22nd. I think No Cap just dropped the project. Higher than YG, who has way more name recognition than anyone. But if you don't have a strong single, if you don't have any type of buzz or anybody talking about you, nothing's gonna really move for you.
I was gonna say, I think what also has an impact when you say people like No Cap, I'm sure No Cap got some TikTok views and some social media views. I think if you ain't got none of that these days, you're probably not gonna get ranked up. I think it's bigger than singles. I think it's more so what these kids are pushing on the TikToks and the Instagrams and stuff of the world or whatever. I think in the space that we're in now, you have to have that too.
Or a really strong built-in fan base. Because if you just go talk to some kids and ask them what they're listening to, they're gonna be naming all kind of shit you've never heard of.
Yeah, that you've never heard of.
Right. They ain't listening to YG. So who's gonna listen to YG? It's gonna be a lot of older heads. So if YG didn't carry his audience with him, then it's not gonna work for him. So you got to get the streets talking, bro. And if the streets ain't talking.
There's another artist from the West Coast that just dropped, and we talked about it on D365. Mustard's album didn't do anything either.
Yeah, he did.
Those two were paired once upon a time, so it's interesting that they drop separate projects and they're not moving the needle at all.
And that's wild coming off of the smash joint he produced. Not like us, like you would think. Some momentum would build. Yeah. That's crazy that he still couldn't ride that rave.
I think the marketing has to change, man. I think it has to change at this point.
You know when I know something's getting pushed, I see it on social media. I haven't seen nothing about Mustard's album on social media. I haven't seen anything about YG's album on social media. So, Rob, you are 100% right. If you aren't in that space and getting in front of, putting the money into getting the sponsored ads, you're not going to move. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Moving on to the next topic. Is it fair?
Okay, y'all. So shout out to FIFO and Ken from Dead End Hip Hop. And Dead End Hip Hop, I love how they do their setup over there. And how they bring all real objective, constructive viewpoints, and they have a very constructive debate about plenty of topics and reviews. Definitely check them out, Dead End Hip Hop. .com. So there were a couple of topics that they laid into. I even made some notes about it, but they fall in line with my exact sentiments about the hip hop game going on right now. First of all, Ken mentioned that there are no stars in the game. Now, I don't think there aren't any stars in the game. I think it's twofold. I think there are no young stars that are carrying the game to the next level. Going back, 15 years ago now, 15, 13, 12 years ago now, into the control era, the era of the leaders in the new school, you had the J. Cole, the Drake, the Kendrick Lamar. You had underground artists like Freddie Gibbs, you know what I mean? You had Big Sean, you had even a Meek Mill, you had a young groundswell of youthful, energetic hip hop culture to take this game in the next decade, which they did. But I'll be honest, I think that era has kind of died out. Right now, you're left with Kendrick Lamar, who's dominating the game off of diss records. He's not even having an album push. J. Cole, who has maybe the most well-rounded game as an MC right now from that era, but it's catching a lot of flack for him dipping out of the Kendrick and the Drake beef. And Drake, who is supposed to be the quote-unquote hip-hop king, that hasn't put out a quality hip-hop record album-wise in over a decade. He got slaughtered in a battle with Kendrick Lamar and is struggling to find a hit. Right now, like he's a talented rapper, but he's not creative enough to carry the game to the next level because he's just not trend worthy anymore. You know what I mean? So the kings of the last era are really not doing anything out of this world. Maybe Kendrick Lamar is the only one, and maybe J. Cole, but where's the next guy? Where's the next guy up? It was supposed to be Jid. It was supposed to be Corday. It was supposed to be some of these new school rappers that came out in the quote-unquote mumble rap era that were going to take the game to the next level, and then they're just not. There's nobody out there that everybody is checking for as to be that guy to carry the game. And yes, I'm pointing mostly at the male rappers. On the female side, on the mainstream it's even worse. I mean, Sexy Red, Ice Spice. I mean, come on. They seem like at one point it was, Cardi B, and Cardi B was looked at as being like a joke rapper or whatever. And these girls coming out now are 2 notches below her. You know what I mean? Cardi B actually looks like a legitimate female rapper now that puts out good, decent music. You know what I mean? But, to lay off the female hip hop game, I'll get to the females in a minute. But anyway, just the male hip hop game. It's stale as I don't know what in the mainstream. And it's forcing a lot of listeners to go to the underground artists, the Benny the Butchers, the Conway the Machines, Ransoms, all of that, as far as the older hip hop audiences. Younger hip hop audiences, they're just going to TikTok to go dance right now. They're just doing whatever song they could just catch a vibe to and go off of that. They're not even, I don't even know if they like, if you're under 25, if you care what a lyric is anymore. And, and the thing about it is that, like, and they mentioned the independent game. The independent game is good. Don't get it right. It's better for the artist, but building the underground is only going to service the people who really listen to hip hop. The mainstream is gonna die and die fast because the underground artists are going to put out albums for independent artists for their core audiences, where if they want to just sell 50,000 copies of an album, that's a win for them. You know what I mean? So an artist like a Freddie Gibbs, who I think may have signed, may or may not be on a major yet, but a lot of the tight lyricists from underground lyricists are all going underground now and going independent. But you're not going to be able to really get the full appreciation of their talent because they're basically moving out of the mainstream. And why is that? The mainstream is kind of pushing them out because what is the mainstream now? It's just trending artists that go viral off of TikTok. And they mentioned that. You got to get a viral hit, a hit single to go off of TikTok. And that's just going to get rappers who are up and coming just to jump on whatever the newest trend is and not really be able to develop a creative style or put out an album. Because what I notice now is a lot of these younger rappers, they can't put out an album, but they don't need to put out an album because all of the quote majors, they're just looking for the next viral hit that's going to go viral on a playlist or whatever. And then after a year and a half, they're going to be like, all right, who's next? So there's no growth of creativity out of the younger generation of hip hop, you know? So they brought up record sales. Now they mentioned YG, who was a very prominent West Coast hip hop artist in the 2010s, got a lot of notoriety with DJ Mustard, who I'll get to in a minute. But, you know, the thing about YG is he's a decent rapper, but he has a big West Coast following. But 8,000 copies on a major label is a disgrace. That is just a disgrace. But I think that's a combination of, and they mentioned him falling off, but I don't know if it's so much him falling off, is that his generation doesn't support him because he doesn't have a core fan base. Because I noticed with a lot of the rappers of the 2010s, outside of your big three, and maybe a few here and there, their core fan bases drop like rocks. They don't support their artists and carry them into longevity like the 90s artists did. You know what I mean? Or the legacy artists did. You know what I mean? And as a result, you know, these, 2010 hip hop artists are here coming to reach for hits. They're just reaching for hits that they're not getting, you know? But I think it's a disgrace a YG does 8,000 in the first week. But see, it carries over to the female hip hop game. As big as Lotto and Ice Spice and Glorilla and some of these new female rappers that are hitting the mainstream, they don't sell either. They might have a single here or there that catches fire, but Sexy Red did 24,000 copies the first week. Ice Spice did 18,000 copies the first week, which goes back to what we were talking about. It's all about trending with them. They have their trending viral moment and hits, and then they're like, all right, this chick is really nothing here. She didn't develop her style. She has a couple of songs and features. What's next? So the trending TikTok culture is not healthy for hip hop. I think that is going to kill the mainstream more than anything. And that's what the younger generation is looking at now. They're not looking to build a legacy or build a core fan base. And I don't think a lot of these new artists are building a core fan base. But if they are, especially on the female end, it's not for hip hop. It's just for their image. That's why they're putting out a lip gloss line, or they're doing more podcasts. They're becoming. I feel like the new female hip hop artists. They're not looking to stay in hip hop long. They just want to get a couple of singles under their belt, build a core following, and then do something else, like do reality TV or do makeup lines or do whatever. I don't think they're invested in hip hop like that. You know what I mean? I don't think they're invested in rap like that, which is killing the female hip hop game. But see, stay tuned for that. We got a series coming up on female hip hop down the line. But I don't want to digress from the real situation. I do think hip hop is dying, y'all. And I do think it's for all of those reasons. It's for the streaming, whether it be independent or major label streaming. I think mixing them all in one is just a bad idea. You know what I mean? I think streaming and forcing independent artists to compete with the major label artists, but the major label artists aren't even streaming, I think is killing the game. The no stars in the game, or no stars right now being developed to take the game to the next level. Where is the next Kendrick Lamar? Where is the next Drake? Where is the next J. Cole? Forget about where's the next Jay-Z or Nas. Where are the next ones that are trying to develop a style that was different? Like, people might disagree, but I think Pop Smoke was like the last one to really have a star appeal. And unfortunately, he passed away. He brought a sound that was very unique and different. And unfortunately, he passed away early. But no one of that drill style has been able to capture that energy and take the game to the next level. Pop Smoke reminded me kind of like a DMX, or even an East Coast version of Future, to come with a different sound. And I don't see that anymore. I don't see that coming with anybody anymore, And then the stars that are here, they're just putting out mediocre and weak music, like a Drake. You know what I mean? It's like, Drake, bro, you haven't really been, quote, hip hop in a very long time, bro. Kendrick sped up the process, but you had that L coming years in the making. You're lazy. The dude is lazy as fuck. He just wants to jump on a trend or the nearest trending artist to keep him alive and keep his brand alive. That's all he's doing. And then the TikTok culture, I just think that is killing the younger mainstream generation of hip hop. Because instead of really developing your craft and putting out albums, you know what I mean? People just want the next viral TikTok moment, because they want to make money off of that, maybe make a couple of singles here, and then they just want their 15 minutes of fame and they go away. I seriously think there's no ambition to be the next Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, even forget about Jay-Z and Nas. Just, even be a star that puts out, 3 or 4 pretty good albums. They don't even want that anymore. So, and so the younger generation, they're not even looking for it. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Are you concerned about the state of hip hop? Because honestly, I'm bored this year in hip hop. I'm really bored. Outside the Kendrick Lamar beef, Kendrick Lamar and Drake battle, I haven't been impressed with a lot of the albums that came out. I mean, I like Joyner Lucas Project. I like J. Cole Project. But in past years, they would probably be maybe back into the top 10, I think Eminem's album came and went. He had his moment, and then it's like, all right, the Slim Shady, yeah, we're bringing back that nostalgia from the past. But I didn't think that energy lasted on that album. Kanye West, he's been stale. Drake, well, we all know what happened to him. You know what I mean? And now he's struggling to get a hit on the radio. I just heard that No Face debuted at like number 118 on Spotify global. Like, really? Drake, number 118? Didn't even crack the top 20 on the Spotify playlist overall, you know, in the US. So I think hip hop's in trouble, yo. I really do. You know, it's had its moments, you know, where Nas came with the hip hop is dead narrative and all of that. But now I'm really concerned about the state of hip hop. I gotta admit. But shout out to Dead End Hip Hop for that broadcast, because I think somebody on the streams and on the hip hop media circuit needed to say that, because I definitely wanted to say that. And big up to you guys, Ken, FIFO, and the gang for coming with that, definitely. But I don't know what you think. Definitely let me know in the comments. Also, you know, Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews, check us out. Look us up on Facebook. We're now 1,200 strong. And definitely like, share, subscribe, man. And I definitely want to hear your comments, and definitely like, share, subscribe on Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. We got more exciting debates coming up now that I'm on StreamYard. So you're going to see more videos, but let me know what y'all are thinking. Is hip hop dying or is hip hop dead? Like, where y'all really stand on this? And check out what my reaction for what the Dead End Hip Hop crew is saying on this. But anyway, I'm going to be back with y'all soon. We got a couple of debates coming up. We got a forum on female hip hop coming up soon. And just stay tuned for that. We got a lot of upcoming interviews with a lot more guests coming on soon. All right. So check this video out. Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Let's grow this channel and grow this movement. All right. Y'all have a good night. All right. Peace.